I have the privilege to speak with an international athlete, and not only an international athlete, but an international athlete who hails from St. Kitts Nevis. His name is Grandmaster George Somersall. Before we get into the actual sport of choice, let's hear a little bit more about the man himself. Somersall or George, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background,
Okay.
from whence you came,
Yes.
and as the people in Nevis would say, who are you people?
Right. Right. Okay. My name is George Somersall, and most people who know me as Junie Somersall or Mustang. I started martial art at the age of 5 in 1968. First, I was born in St. Kitts. I have many relatives here in Nevis, the Wards, the Kellys, France, Skeets. Those are all my family here. Also, Ian Ward, Rawl Carter, Agley Carter, all here. When I was home, I was a pharmacist for Skerritt's Drugstore. Back in the days, I was a junior pharmacist also at Skerritt's Drugstore.
Okay, before we get further into that, I think you told me also that you're related to the CMO. You tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, Sandra Laws, my cousin, married to Dr. Laws, also, and my uncle Sonny Kelly is her dad.
Okay.
Yes.
And so you have roots, you're born in St. Kitts, but you have roots in Nevis as well. And I think the best part is that you also have a Nevisian wife.
That is correct. My wife is Avril Morgan from Government Road.
Okay. Now let's talk a little bit about martial arts. Normally when we say martial arts, I normally think karate. And I'm told that karate is different from taekwondo, and there are other aspects of martial arts. Could you kind of try to explain to us the difference between the different art forms?
Yes. Okay, the art that I'm doing presently now is taekwondo and hapkido, which is a Korean art. The other art is karate, which is the Japanese art. The Japanese art uses 90% hands. The taekwondo is 90% legs and kicking, yes. And the other part of it is the hapkido, which is a self-defense, which is the hardcore self-defense.
Okay. Where did this interest in taekwondo begin? I mean, you mentioned something about when you were 5 years old, but talk to us a little bit about your interest in this art form.
Okay. My interest came in the early years, in the early 70s, with my brother Glenn Roy Somersall, along with Arthur Henry, which was my first karate instructor at the old village school pasture. Also, we had many of the other martial artists, some of them still around, but my main interest was because of my brother. He was into judo and also karate, and I was a big fan of Bruce Lee within that time.
Okay, so having watched all those Bruce Lee movies, you saw yourself kind of flying through the air and kicking a couple of people and defending yourself and the whole entire country. So how did you advance? I'm certain that it didn't all happen in St. Kitts. So tell us a little bit about the movements from St. Kitts and your advancement in this art form.
Yes. Okay, we started in Taekwondo started in St. Kitts in 1982 under Alarita Richards, which I was one of the members there. But before that, in the 70s, I was doing karate in the 70s with Arthur Henry, Joe Henry, my uncle, which is Somersalls, all the Somersalls, my brother. We always doing that before. And then after I migrated to the States, I continue from there on, in which I'm the Senior Vice President for the Taekwondo Hall of Fame over there in New York, and I'm also the representative for career in Hapkido also.
No, that just didn't happen. Did you have to go through competitions and establish yourself as a champion in the form? Did you win a lot of competitions, etc.?
Yes, I did, abroad and also home here. I remember one of the first tournaments I entered was in Trinidad when they sent for me to represent St. Kitts in Trinidad. And because of that, I escalated in many of the other arts. I did other arts, not just Taekwondo, but I stick with the Taekwondo and Hapkido. One of the main reasons because the Taekwondo is the one that could put many of the athletes in the Olympics. And that is one of the things I'm trying to do, to get most of the guys in St. Kitts Nevis to be part of the Olympics, because I have a lot of information with the schools here and in St. Kitts, and because I have the connection, I can get most of them start training for the Olympics, next Olympics for Taekwondo.
Okay.
Yes.
So, in terms of your advancement, tell us a little bit about the awards that you've won thus far. I understand there's a big award soon to come.
Yes.
But before we get into that, some of the awards you've won along the way.
Okay. Most of my accolades, I have many of them. Some came from when I was in Korea. I did a lot of training in Korea, which I have a lot of awards from Korea. The representative part of me for Korea is because of my rank. It took many years for the ranks. First, I started home getting my first at the ranks. Then when I migrate to New York, I started getting my first dan, second dan, third dan, fourth dan, fifth dan, sixth dan, seventh dan. Now I'm an eighth dan, which is a grandmaster in the art of taekwondo. My teacher presently now is Grandmaster Dong Kyu Park, who is the Olympic coach. Okay. And also Grandmaster Gerard Robbins, who is the president for the committee for the Hall of Fame committee in New York City. So I have the privilege of inducting many people from my island, St. Kitts or Nevis or different parts of the Caribbean to be part of it.
How many years does it take from a first dan to an eighth dan? That sounds like an eternity.
Yes. From a first dan, from the white belt to a first dan, it took me 4 years, and which was on the Grandmaster Shin, and that took place in St. Kitts in the old committee center. And then from there on is about 3-4 years between each one. Presently now, I'm going to be 60 in September coming. So all these years, I just got my 8th dan in February of 2018. Wow. So it took me almost 40 years before I received that.
Wow. Well, I have to say congratulations. And there's a big one coming up, a big award coming up soon to be presented to you. Tell us about that one.
Yes. The one that's coming up will be, it should be in Chicago. It's going to be the Grandmaster Society. And that award is 99% Korean. So as a minority, for me to be part of it, it's really something that I have to really tap myself, because you don't see that many minority in that, especially, okay?
Yeah,
you don't see, yes, from a small island, you don't see that at all. So for me to be part of that in the Grandmaster Society is really the biggest part of my life, because many of the Grandmasters, they are mostly Koreans, 90% Korean.
Well, I want to say congratulations, Grandmaster Somersall, and we look forward to you helping others from St. Kitts and Nevis to excel in the art form. But in terms of training, staying fit, because you still look pretty fit at 60 almost, tell us what you do in terms of a regular training routine. Okay.
Training routine. I teach Monday to Saturday. I teach classes. After work, my school open from 4:30 until 9. On Saturdays, school open from 9:30 a.m. until 2 p.m. in the afternoon. So I continually train the kids daily, not just watching them train, but I do everything. Yeah, not just telling them what to do. I'm on the floor doing all the exercises, doing all the forms, the one-step technique, everything on the floor. And I also, in the States, I also train most of the corrections officers, police officers, everything over there. Wow. That's part of my job over there, to train them. Great. Yes, I'm trying to train them not to pull the weapon, how to control someone.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So that's one of my main jobs, yes. But the main thing is I'm trying to get most of the guys here and in St. Kitts to be part of it. So I'm working hard to get them in the Olympics. Nice. Because I want to see the guys from here in part of it.
What about an eating schedule or the type of nutrition? Because I mean, a man to stay fit in this art form, there must be particular nutrients that you need.
Yes. Well, the most thing, to be honest, is eating healthy, yes, but protein is very important. Mostly a lot of fish, cut out the red meat a lot. A lot of vegetables, things like that. And in the morning early, do a regimen of about 15-20 minutes before you go to work. Exercise, stretch, those are the most important stuff. And not only that, I also do cycling since I was home here, the professional cycling. So on Sundays, I have to do at least 80 to 100 miles training every Sunday morning. Wow. And then from there on, we start training again.
Well, you have a very busy schedule. And in terms of, should I say, excelling in the art, because somebody might be saying, I'm interested in that. How can someone from Nevis make contact with you if they want to, should I say, get forward in this art form?
Sure. I can be reached at New Age Taekwondo at gmail.com, which is new NEWAGE TKD at gmail.com, or 347-228-8042.
And there's money in this thing as well, because people normally say I'm not getting into something when there's not a lot of money in it.
There is money to be made if you're certified. You have to be certified all around in the art to teach and to get the license to do the right thing, like to work under the government, things like that. But there's money to be made. But it's not, for me, it's not really much about the money. It's seeing the youths, excel.
Okay, your final words, Master George Somersall. Look into the camera. Talk to the young people of Nevis in terms of excelling, maybe not only in this art form, but excelling generally, as you would have excelled. Correct. You know what you have gone through, you know where you have reached. What would you want to tell the young people of Nevis?
Okay, well, I would like to tell most of the young people in St. Kitts and Nevis to try to do lots of exercises and be positive. It may not come right away, but later down in life, it's going to be beneficial to you in doing a lot of exercises daily, and getting some type of regimen and some type of sport, whether it could be cycling, taekwondo, soccer, cricket, some type of sport to be positive in life.
Well, thank you so much, sir. It was a privilege talking to you. And when that award ceremony takes place, give me a heads up so that we probably can hear some of it here as well, so that people can see what transpired. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and it's an honor meeting you. And we hope to see each other soon again.
Can you just for the camera do a little formation for me? I mean, I'm not too good at this thing, but
okay.
Do a little formation.
Okay, we could do a little. You could do basic. For instance, when I teach, I try to get the kids involved in learning the Korean art. So when I call, the stuff is not basically all in English.
Okay.
So for instance, I would do a front kick.
Okay.
So if I do a front kick from here, we call it apchagi in Korean term. Apchagi, which is you use the ball of the foot to kick. So from here, you bend the toes backwards and you shoot upwards. Okay, from here, you can do a reverse punch. So from here, I can use the right hand and just step with the right leg and do a reverse punch. The reverse punch has a 90-degree turn. So as you see, everything turned together. Okay, also in the blocks, which is called ilgolmaki, which is high block, cross over. Okay, now you can do a knife and chop, which is called sutumeki, from a back stance out. You can do also yupchegi, which is a side kick using the blade. So from here, you chamber up, out. You can bring it back into a roundhouse kick, which is the end step, which is called doliochegi. So from here, I turn round the other side. Spear hand, which is called, this block is sutu, this one is suno, which is knife hand. Okay, you can also give chamber, both hands on the hips are called chamber. This stance is called a horse stance. This stance is called front stance. This stance is called a walking stance. This block is called outside. This is called inside. This is called low block. Now, I can show you something here. If you grab my throat, okay? Here.
Don't hurt me.
No. I do something simple here. 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 Now from here when I push, now I control here.
Oh.
So that's Hapkido. Hapkido is the self-defense part of Taekwondo. Now we have different variations which we use the mobilization, pressure points. So here, if you grab my wrist tight as you can, now it's simple. Everything is right here for me. So all I have to do is here.
show me the suno again. Suno.
Sutumaki.
Sutumaki.
Sutu, knife hand, back
Okay.
stance, pressures on the back leg, and here.
Sutumaki. We leave. We see you. We catch up.